Hey there everybody, my name is Warwick and welcome to Warwick Reviews with a slightly different look. So if you are used to the channel, thanks for coming back, but you may notice things look a bit different. The reason why is because we are checking out the Elgato FaceCam 4K, which if you notice is just here. So there's a box just there, FaceCam 4K, and I'm using it right now. So I thought, why not make it the whole video using this cam? So what we're going to be doing is demonstrating the camera as we are on right now, doing an unboxing, checking out all the features around it, and if it's worth a purchase. But before we do that, hi, hope you're doing well. Again, my name is Warwick and I do reviews on Elgato and Corsair and tech products, but also indie games, unboxings, all sorts. Also, you will find me on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Warwick, and also various socials where you may be. But like I said, I'm going to check out the FaceCam 4K. So let's begin. Right, so we have here the Elgato FaceCam 4K, premium 4K webcam, comes with true 4K 60 video, a stunning picture, DSLR light controls, so HDR enabled, and also it comes with lens filter thread, so you better cinematic effects as you please. We'll go through more about what all about later, but right now we are looking at the unboxing of it. So this box here. Very straightforward, very clean. Elgato there, you've got what the name is, the picture of the item as well, and I believe that is true to size, so you can see how big it is, maybe a bit bigger than that, but I would say that's pretty much true to size. And you've got sort of back behind a bit more about information about what is all it does. So a bit more information, sort of the software and how it looks on your screen or wherever you have it. More information on the back and what's inside just there. What great about this, which they seem to continue for the last few products recently, is using less plastics. So you can see here, the packaging is plastic free. So the whole thing, even this, is all cardboard. And the product itself uses 60% of repurposed plastics, rather than going through a landfill and staying there for years and years and decades. It's been reused to make our products here. And yeah, so good for the environment. Anyway, let's open up, shall we? As you can see, we haven't opened up yet, because I wanted to save it for the video. There we go. So that's it inside, and we'll open up. And there, in its wrapping, is our camera. So we'll pick that up. So we'll open this up just here. And there is the camera. So it says FaceCam 4K just there, LED there, and there's the camera. As you can see, it's actually got the threads on the side, so you can actually put filters on it. Tripod, where you can put tripod mounts or other accessories on there, sort of mounted to the top. The Elgato logo, and then USB-C slot at the back. And yeah, very light, very, very light, but really stylish, really cool. And I love the look of this. So yeah, so that's the camera just there. And then with anything, you've got some sort of warranty or in safety instructions just there. Have a read. And with all products, it comes with everything that you need straight from the box. So you have to buy any additional stuff. So you've got the USB to USB-C wire just there to connect the camera. And then you've got the tripod for the camera here, which can go on the screen. So it will fit if we test it like that, basically it just sits like that on your screen. But you don't have to use this. You can use any other tripods. Basically, the thread is exactly the same for any tripod. So you can put it wherever you have it. So if you have a monopod from Elgato, then you can use that as well. But yeah, so that's tripod just there. And that's basically it. Nothing else in the box just there, all in cardboard, like I said earlier. So there it is. But the main part is actually seeing how this thing actually works. So let's start. Right, so welcome to the camera hub. So you see me, hi, and then you see on here all the settings. So this is the program that Elgato uses. You don't have to use this, it's not compulsory, but it's a really cool tool to fine tune your camera to how you will want. So you've got the Elgato camera hub and it's free to download. So when you get the product, there's a QR code. You can download the manual as well as this program, or just go to elgato.com/downloads and you better find this program for PC and Mac. So you better download this and then get started. So like you say, this is as it comes. So this is the camera plugged in, no filters, no nothing on it. And for straight out of the box, pretty good quality. Like the light is pretty good. I've got my windows open. I've got a couple of lights on me as well. And for overall, everything seems to be lit quite well. I'm looking quite good. There are some fine tuning that needs to be done, but overall, pretty good. And again, this was just plug in. No, nothing. Just put the plug in, plug in the USB, away we go. So if you are in a rush and you want to go, I need a camera quickly, plug it in. I mean, does its job straight away, but we are going to do some fine tuning. So we'll look at the left. We'll show you what things about. So you've got a device, which is the Elgato FaceCam 4K. You can have other devices and the format. So if we go down here, you can actually change the preview format. So with the benefit of the FaceCam 4K, you can go up to 4K, 60 frames per second. So you've got these versions here. So if we go to 60, so there we go. And you may notice that there are more frames. So actually a bit more lifelike. Personally, I'm not a big fan of 60 frames when you're doing sort of face or sort of people. I don't know if it's because of cinema, but I think growing up, sort of that movement is like you used to, so 24 or even 30 frames per second, where if it's higher frames, it looks a bit uncanny, a bit more soap opera-esque. But there we go. That's a preview. So you can go down even if you want to go to 540p. So obviously a difference, but it does show you the preview. So we'll go back to 4K 30 frames per second. So we've got device, so we've got that there. So we close that up, and then you got framing. So framing is zoom and focus, face tracking, and then you got presets. So this is where you can zoom in. This is as far as it can go. So you can't go any further with the lens as it is. You can go more in depth. So you can scroll in and out if you want to. You can actually go to 400. Hello. Go back and out. So you got that, and you got these presets. So these presets, you can sort of have a bit zoom in, go out, how we want it, and then you can also move them as well. So if you want to go, you know what, I want this preset to show my hand, you can have that there, or you can have it over there, or you can have this one zoomed in. You can, whatever you want to do, you can have those presets and sort of change how you want. Face tracking, so we'll test it here. So if we go zoom in here, so here's my face right now. If I press face tracking, and now it's going to face track. So it's actually face tracking at the moment. So it's coming towards me like that. See, just like that. And it's face tracking me. If you want that on, you can also have it zoomed in and out if you want to. So if you want it a bit more centralized, or have it really close where you're like here and you go, oh, hello. There is a bit of a stutter with it as well, but it's nothing too bad, but it's obviously trying to refocus. But if you want that, and you can just turn it off and just go back to the standard preset. So that is framing. Then we've got picture. So this has got contrast, saturation, and sharpness. As again, this is how it comes straight from the box. But for me personally, there's some fine tuning that I would like to do. So we've got those options there. So we've got contrast. So again, contrast is just color back and forth. So if I want it really contrasty, if I'm playing like a noir, LA noir game, I can have it like this if I want to. You can also reset it. So if you mess up, you're there. So you have a bit more contrast, saturation, just more color. So we've got 70% as default. So if you want to, again, LA Noir or completely black and white, you can do that. Or you can go to another extreme where it's just bright colors. Quite like that, actually. But we'll have it a bit higher because I like a bit of color. So we'll go about sort of about 82%, so a bit more color. And then sharpness. So it's on 50% at the moment. There is a bit of sharpness. If we put it down and you can sort of, if we frame, if we zoom in, so you can see that the focus at the moment, it's not quite there. It's a little bit off. So we're 50, put it back to 50 as it was a default. You can see there's a difference. But if we put it even higher, even to like 60%, let's put it like 60%, you can tell there's more difference. I'm more sharp, more in focus. And if we go back here, you can tell basically everything has gone in focus, even me and sort of green. You can go to extreme. It does sort of make it sort of those sort of sketch images, but it does work. It does make it look really sharp. I wouldn't recommend this personally unless this is sort of style that you want, but yeah. So for me, 50 isn't the best straight about, so, but you can fine tune it. So I can just have it like this. There we go. Take a bit of color away, or bring a bit of color in, bit of contrast, bit away. There we go. And there we go. So a bit more color, more sort of sharp as well. So you can sort out, and we can sort of zoom in, and you can instantly tell the sharpness is definitely there. So options to change that, which is good. Then we've got exposure. So exposure is automatic, but you can change it. So it does sort of meter in composition and dramatic range. Don't worry too much about if you don't understand the words. Don't worry about it. You can just play around with things. So you've got sensor, you've got average, spot. So basically average is all meter. Basically the exposure is how much light. So the average, if we do average, it will do the average of the light overall. My lighting is sort of average at the moment, sort of well balanced lighting wise, so it's not much change. Then you go spots, and it will do like a spot in the middle. So again, not too much change, but we can go to automatic off. So bit of a difference. Not ideal. You can't really see me. You can see me a little bit, but so you got these shutter speeds and OSI. So these are how you sort of control the exposure. So the higher number or the lower the number. So 1/14th of a second means slower shutter speed. So you can have up to 1/10,000th of a second. Obviously, not a lot going on because you can't see anything. You can have it as low as 1.10. But with that, you can see there's blurring. Again, nice effect if you want that effect, but so we want to bring up the ISO because ISO is how much light goes into the camera. Small or low ISO, not a lot of light, which means the shutter speed is trying to get more light in at a slower speed. So we want to get that nice balance. So we'll put that, let's say put like 160 of a second. And we bring ISO up. So as you see, we bring it up high and high, and the light is coming in. So if I say, let's do like, let's do about 1334. There we go. So 1/60th of a second, which isn't too bad. ISO is about 1300, which isn't super high. You can get really high, like can go as high as 25,000, which, yeah. And this is how I feel like when I'm in the sun. So we could put it back about, let's do that. So you can fine tune if you want to, how you just want. And then dynamic range. So you got standard, wide, and high. Standard is just standard, but if you want like a more of a range or a wider range, you can go wide. So you can tell suddenly more sort of the lightings come in, or even high. So it's the other extreme. So it's like a real dynamic. Again, if you want that style, great. But if you want to, you can just go automatic. So we go automatic and go to standard. So there we go. So for the most part, I think standard works really well. You can change things if you want to, if you want to fine tune stuff, and even composition. So you can go, you know what, it might be a bit too much light or not enough. So I want to bring a little bit of light in. So you can just bring like a stopover, a bit more light if you want to. But for the most part, automatic seems to work really well. Then we've got white balance. Again, it balances how the light is. So there are certain different lights. If you've ever been in some of the real buildings, we've got like really like those sort of humming lights, like really orange. So you want like different lighting. So this is how you can balance that. So if you might have it somewhere where it's very orange or very sort of different colors, you can change it. Again, automatic seems to do really well. You can turn it off if you want to. So at the moment, this is the temperature. So you've got sort of colds to like the hots. So if you are in a room or a place that's got like quite orange lighting, you can make it a bit colder to sort of combat that, as you can sort of see just there. But again, most part, white balance works pretty well. Pretty happy with that. And then we've got processing. So this is where noise reduction comes from. So at the moment, it's on low. We'll turn it off. So there we go. So you may notice that the framing or the video got a bit sharper. So we'll zoom in. So hi, hello. So yeah, so we've turned off noise reduction off, and you may notice that the camera got a bit more in focus, but you might notice a bit of noise. So what noise is basically, with camera lenses, it tries to bring as much light as it can. The more light, the more image that it can process. Less light, it will have to sort of work harder, which means there's more chance for like noise or like little like pixels or sort of particles in sort of the video. So zooming in right now, you can sort of see with the noise reduction off, that there was a bit of noise. You can use the reduction. I will say with the reduction, there is a sort of catch-22, so you can use it, sort of smooth that. So we'll put it to low. So there we go. You can't see the noise. However, you may notice that you might lose a bit of that sort of sharpness to the video. Nothing drastic, especially if you're zoomed out here, you wouldn't notice that. Turn off my lights that I have on me, so it's a lot darker. So if we turn off noise and we zoom in, you can see a lot more noise on me because there's not as much light. So it's trying to work harder. So you could actually go to medium or high. Gets rid of noise, but as you notice, you do lose that sharpness. This camera does need light. So if you are used to sort of more sort of even like DSLRs or other cameras like maybe to take more light in, this one will need more light. So you have to keep that in mind if you have sort of any setup that you may need to upgrade or even update your lighting. For my streaming, I normally have the one ring light. So I normally just have the one just here on the side. Normally have windows shut light in the background. With this camera, I have had to add extra lighting. So I'm filming during the day, so windows are open. I've got an extra light just here, which I'll turn on now to help the camera process more of the image without losing that quality. So keep that in mind. You do need a fairly well lit area when you're recording with this webcam. So again, like, turn it off so noise is hardly there. But if you want to have noise, you can have low. You have custom, so you can change things just there if you want to. So you've got 2D and 3D noise reduction. So 2D does like basically just image. It will scan the image and go, okay, get rid of that noise. 3D, it will scan in a 3D environment, which is pretty cool. Don't really understand how it works, but it sounds cool and it seems to work. And again, if you want, you can have it higher if you really want to. So get rid of all that noise, also a little bit of that sharpness. Anyway, reset that. So we've got back there. So we're here with effects. So over here, so cool, like sort of effects that are built into the program. So at the moment, we've got off, you've got blur. So click on blur and it will blur your background. So you can, if you want for the stream or recording or whatever, you don't want anything in your background, you can have it there. And for the most part, it looks really good actually. It tracks really well. Like it knows where my hands are and stuff. So it knows who I am. Like even like the gaps in my arms, it seems to sort of work really well. And then if you want higher strength, you can have even more. So you can actually like properly blurred if you want to, not just show anything. So if you've got any days where you don't want to show anything off in the background, there we go. So you've got that there. Then you got these ones here. So you've got just like presets like Elgato, black and white. You got like sort of these room areas and stuff. Even videos. So you got this clock just here. It's not, I don't think it's right, but there we go. Then you got this breaking news as well. You can add ones from Marketplace or Elgato Marketplace, or you can pre-install backgrounds, so your own as well. And then you can change them there. Also orientation. So go back here. So you can either mirror, just like that, or even flip. There we go. And it will highlight when you've done it. So it will show you, oh, you are currently mirrored and flipped. So it's not like if you forget, it's like, wait, which way am I? It will show you. So there we go. Loots are these cool things. So there's basically like filters that you can have in your camera. And there are some pre-built loots. So this will basically fine tune how your camera looks. If you want sort of a noir-esque looking film noir, you can press that. And then you've got coffee break. So a bit more warmer during the day sort of thing. We have vivid boost, so you can see that boost that comes through. So we go off for a second, and vivid boost, it brings up more of the colors and the contrast. True tone, so this actually tries to get true tone, so we come off, so bringing more of that tone. And then Hollywood, a bit more contrasty. And you get intensity, so if you want this one, you go, actually, that's a bit too much. I'll have a little bit though, a little bit. There we go. Or you can have it full whack if you want to. And then again, you can add or take away. You can change thumbnail. So if you want to change the thumbnail of the loot, you can change that. You can use a screenshot. So if you're going, you know what? This is going to be a screenshot. So there we go. So it's just made little screenshots of me. So me with his face there. And then there we go. Yeah, look. So actually shows how the image looks actually. So you can actually hover over it and see how it would look. So black and white, Hollywood, coffee break. And again, you can download more. So from pre-install loots, you've got Marketplace. There's many there. It's really cool. You can change things around, which is really nice. With this as well, you've got AR effects. So certain effects through NVIDIA. So one of them is the eye contact. So this may, if you're not seeing this before, this may look a bit odd. So I do apologize. Take my glasses off because it works better without glasses. So turn it on. And what this does is it looked like my eyes are directly looking at the camera, even though they're not. So if I do that, you can see my eyes are tracking. So wherever I'm looking, it will look straight at the camera. So if I'm doing like an ad read or something, like I'm looking at my screen right now, looks a bit uncanny. Absolutely. Like I've turned it off. There we go. As you can see, the eyes change a little bit, but it's a pretty cool feature, especially if you don't have the prompter, but you can use this with the Elgato prompter. So if you are looking for that, it will fit. But that is Camera Hub. Pretty cool thing. Again, it works through OBS, so you can do a lot of things with that. You can do it straight from the back. You can have this play through, so you can basically do video capture through Elgato, and it will do that with all your settings. You can also do settings in OBS as well if you want to. And yeah, back to me. And there we go. So that was the Elgato Facecam 4K, and for the money, and if it's your first webcam, I think you can't go wrong. A lot of good quality in here. Looks good straight out of the bat, and there's also really cool features with it. So compared to the Facecam Mark II, with this, you are getting 4K resolution, you look ultra sharp, even zoomed in on big screens, 60 frames per second, so motion will look twice as smooth compared to competing webcams. Your image quality will get DSLR-like colors and clarity. You can even use lens filters, which is a new one for webcams, where you can style your shot with 49mm filters, optimize focus area, so stay perfectly sharp anywhere at your desk, uncompromised, so you can stream with ultra low latency and rich image detail, and it is made and packaged using sustainable materials. So the Facecam 4K does come to about $60 more than the Mark II, but I feel with sort of added benefits of the 4K and what's around it, I feel like you do get your money's worth. I will say there are some sort of cons with this camera that I'm using right now. As you saw for the whole video, I've been using this camera and I've had to use a lot more lighting than I normally do. So I currently use a DSLR camera for my streaming, which you can see sort of example right now. And with the benefit with those types of cameras is you have a bigger lens, so you have more processing, so you can have more or less light, but it still keep the details. Where with this, I had to sort of basically bring in a lot more light to sort of bring that clarity in. So if you are in like a dimly lit area or in a streaming space, you might have to consider that, or potentially look at sort of noise filtering. But again, if you start using that, you will start losing some sort of the clarity or the focus on your camera. So a bit more fine tuning. I'm not saying it looks bad, even with low lighting, but it's something that you would want to consider, because not every camera is the same. So you have to sort of work within its limits. Also, there's no cover built in. So with the Mark II, there's a cover built in. With the webcam, this doesn't. You do get a cover that comes with any purchase of this camera, but it doesn't come natively built in. Would have been nice to see, but like I said, if you do purchase it, you do get that option if need be. Also, personally, I would like to see sort of varying focus. So with this, it's a fixed focus lens between like 30 and 120 centimeters. Anything will be in focus. So you got me, Mike, you got all my sort of background in focus. I would like the option to sort of have varying focus. So when if I put something closer, it will focus more on that, put things in the background. But I guess that comes with a limitation of sort of the price range or sort of where we are with this camera. Where if you want something like that, you can probably look at the Facecam Pro, which allows you to have those extra options at more of a cost. But overall, with like, especially if it's your first camera, I think you get a lot out of this. Again, straight out of the box, it looks pretty damn good. Do fine tune into how you're liking with the program that we showcased earlier. There's a lot of options there. And then you can have it run straight through OBS, which you can also fine tune in OBS as well. And there's a lot of things you can do with this, you know, first with filters as well, which is really cool. So you better have different filters on the lenses to fine tune stuff and sort of do certain things, as we sort of showed examples earlier. So overall, decent piece of kit. If it's not your first camera, you might have some cons with this, but I think overall for your first camera, I think you can't go wrong. But thank you so much for watching. Again, my name is Warwick. I don't just do reviews, although you will see reviews just like this as well on indie games, AAA games, on unboxings, but also you'll find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Warwick, and also find me for various socials where you may be. Thank you to Elgato for the review product, and thank you for watching. Please take care. Bye-bye.